Welcome to Tech Tuesday. My name is Neil, and today we'll be covering File Explorer in Windows 10. So let's jump right in. I already have it open, but if I didn't, what I would do is I would go here to the bottom of the screen to this icon that looks like a file folder, and you can see where it has the mini version of File Explorer so that you can tell what it is. The fact that it's underlined shows that it is already open. Even if I had it minimized, it's still open, and all I have to do is click on it again to bring it back up. So we are on right now what is known as the quick access screen, and you can see that because it has this blue around it. We are going to cover all of these screens in just a moment. If I click on this little arrow next to quick access, what I would see is exactly the same thing that I'm seeing under frequent folders. It's just a different access point. So we can close that up. Down here are my most recent files. We're not going to cover OneDrive today because in order to adequately explain it, it would take a whole class of its own. Basically, it's Microsoft's cloud storage system. So we're going to jump down to this PC. If I click on that, you'll see the screen changes. And what you'll see is more of the folders that I have here and various other access points. So these are things that we use for work here. I'm going to jump down to USB. So I have a folder here and my files that are outside of this folder. And then I'm going to jump to network. And this one takes a little bit longer, so it'll just be a moment. And these are other devices that are connected to the computer. And basically what I have are printers. So if we return back to quick access, there we go. Now, I'm going to talk about the top here for a moment. If I click on home, you can see all these are in gray because I haven't actually selected a file. Now, let's suppose I selected a file, and I'm selecting this Worm Factory 360 here, and I go to home. A few things lit up, but not everything. And that's because this file is actually not located here. This is just a quick way to access it. It's actually, if you look down, it's located in my USB drive. So if I go to the USB drive here and do it here, you see all these have lit up. Now, if I were to go away for a second and then say try to keep home open, you can do it, but it's covering up all of this other stuff that's underneath it, like in this area. So if I just want to expand it, what I can do is go over to this end here, way over on the right-hand side, where hovering over it for a second, it says expand the ribbon. Now, normally, as I said a second ago, if something's in gray, it's not functioning. This is the one exception, and I'm not sure why they made that an exception, but it is. So now it's expanded without actually covering any of this other stuff. So let's see what these can do. Let's go to copy. And I am going to copy it to the desktop. So you can see the blue wheel there went for a second. That's while I was working on it. And this document is still here, but it's now also on the desktop. So I'm going to delete it from the desktop so I can show you the second example. Bring this back up. And now we're going to move it. And I'm going to move it to the desktop. And it's asking me just to make sure. And yes, I do. So now it's disappeared from here. But if I minimize the page, it's on the desktop. Then what I'm going to do is from here, I can send it. And this option is send to, and I'm going to send it back to the USB drive. And as you can see, it is still here, but it's also back in my USB drive. And I didn't delete it from there this time because I want to show you how to delete it here. And again, if you right-click, you'll see you have a delete option. And you can still do it that way, but you now have this big red X. And it's just double checking, and yes. So now it is off the USB drive permanently. But fortunately, I saved it here. So if you ever have anything important, I would strongly recommend putting it in multiple locations, and which is what I just did. So it's back, and If I select it, I can do all these things. If we go to share, you see you can share, email it. Now I don't have these set up on this computer because I don't use it, but if I want to set up these features, it just takes a moment to do. And then view is how I view this particular page. So we can make the icons very big, very small, or you can do titles, you can do content, list, large icons. You can change how they're sorted. There it is. So you can have details pane over here. You can have preview pane, which is just shows what's on the physical document. And that's basically it here. So let's go back to the quick access screen. And we are back where we started. If you want to close the ribbon, just come back over here and it closes out. So that's a basic tour of File Explorer. So, thank you for tuning in. Hope to see you next time. Thank you. Goodbye.